Good afternoon, Jamal Abed. It might be a little
Hello.
late, but I have a represent you. So
Hello. Thank you.
you are free to start the session without a problem.
Okay. Just 1 second. I will just share my screen. Okay. I'll switch on my camera and also screen. Hello. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, that's nice. So let me know when can I start. Okay.
You are free to start.
Okay, thank you. I'll start the session. So hello everyone. Thank you for attending my session today. Today I will deliver my session online. I hope to join you today, but I'm far today. I'm in Europe, and next year, maybe next year, I will join in person with to deliver this session. Today, I will talk about how to build a Copilot agent for SharePoint and SharePoint Embedded with Copilot Studio. So I will during this session, I will show you what is it SharePoint Embedded, something new, and how and what is it Copilot agents, and how to add the SharePoint Embedded container to this agent. So before I start my session, let's thank our sponsor for this community event. As you know, this type of event, it's free, so without sponsor we cannot deliver some we cannot organize some event. So if you have time, let's check with them what they are doing and what product they are selling. And also thanks for the partner for today. So what about me? My name is Jamal Abed. I'm Microsoft 365 consultant. I'm freelancer. So I work in France and I live in Belgium and I was born in Tunisia. It's really, really difficult. So I'm between the three countries. It's in Europe and it's North Africa. And I'm Microsoft MVP on Microsoft 365 development and SharePoint. And I'm working with, I'm contractor with the company in USA, Neon, and I have been working with SharePoint since the year 2007. If you want to connect with me, we have my LinkedIn. So if you have any question about SharePoint Embedded or Copilot agents, so I will be free to answer your question. And when you check the community website, there is a link about speaker dashboard. You can check. I'm the #1 speaker on this community. So I delivered since last year more than 22 events in person. So the first time I delivered a session online. And you have my Twitter or my X. You can connect with me. You can check. So now basically I'm using LinkedIn. So. And what about Neon? Neon, it's the Postgres database. If you want to check what is Neon, you can check their website. And we can create for free 10 database, maximum 2 GB. So I have also on Azure Marketplace. You have Neon. You can also add it to your Azure project also. And I want to share with you my session during the last year. So it was in South Korea at Microsoft Office. So it's not generated by AI. It's during my session, I deliver a session about what is it SharePoint Embedded. As you can see, my attendee has a nice view. And also this session, it was in USA. It was in Nashville 2 months ago. So I delivered a session about how it was organized in a stadium, and for 200 attendees. And as you can see, I delivered a session about how the main topic I delivered, it's about SharePoint Embedded. And here it was how to get started to SharePoint Embedded. And today agenda, I'll share with you my agenda. So I'll talk first. I'll talk if you work with the company, what are the main problem you're facing when you develop application and you manage data with your organization. And I will talk about what is SharePoint Embedded. And then I'll talk what is a SharePoint embedded container, and it's Microsoft product. I will show you how much it costs. So it's not pay by license, it's pay as you go. And I'll talk about the agent and how can you can use agent with Copilot Studio, and what is it Copilot Studio. And I will share with you to develop experience, how if you want to start to work with SharePoint embedded, how we can do it. And at the end, I will show you in live demo how to create agent, how to add file, and how to search file with storage in SharePoint embedded content. So let's start with the company challenge managing application and data. So as you know today, when you work with Microsoft ecosystem, if you want to store a file, you have three options. You can store this file in SharePoint site. You create SharePoint site, and in SharePoint document library, you will add this file. And also in OneDrive, for each user in the company has a specific OneDrive, personal OneDrive. And also you have the third option now with SharePoint embedded container. So you have the Microsoft 365 tenant for your organization. You have three options to store file. So we have a fourth option also when you want to store file in blob storage. It's a fourth option, but today I will show you how to use SharePoint embedded container and SharePoint site with Copilot agents. So I want to share with you the storage for your Microsoft 65 because it's very important, because I've been working with many customers, and all the time we are discussing how much it costs for each data. So, and do you know how is the storage is allocated for your tenant? For each tenant for Microsoft 65, you have 1 terabyte free storage, and for each licensed user, you will have 10 gigabyte per user. So that means when you have in one company, when you have 200 users licensed under E3, you will accumulate a total 3 terabyte, 1 terabyte for free and 2 terabyte from the user, and you will pay extra if you exceed this storage. You will pay 20 cents US dollar monthly for each gigabyte. It's very important to know it's not free. So when you exceed storage, you will pay. So I have been working with many customers. They say to me all the time, SharePoint is free. You can store file there. So it's not free. You will pay for extra when you exceed this limitation. And I want to share with you a real scenario with one customer in France. For this customer, I worked with him. We have tenants shared with 300,000 users, and we are developing many applications for all the business units across the country. And all the application use SharePoint as the main storage for file storage. And every month, it was very difficult for this application. For example, when you work on a file, it's very we develop many search capability, but for the user, they say to us, it's not, we cannot find our file. It's very complicated, and also it's very complicated in terms of storage. So some business units they don't want to pay the extra. They say we have the free storage, and many business units they're afraid also about AI. They want their data stay isolated from other users, from other business units, and it was very complicated when you work with only one tenant and for this for 300,000 users. And this is why we are searching for something to isolate the data and to find something it work easy to search for the file. So when you develop something to develop an application and you develop the search capability, user now with the AI, they want to just to ask some question and to find the file. And this is why now this is why during this session I will talk about SharePoint embedded and SharePoint site also, and how to use Copilot agents to work with this file. So, and this is why we propose we will develop an agent. So we'll configure an agent, because in Copilot Studio it's we don't develop an agent. Okay. We don't develop agent. We configure an agent. And this is why we say that we will add an agent for each SharePoint document library and for each SharePoint embedded container. That means when you use this agent, for example, in Teams, for each business unit, for each project, they will ask the agent with the sample sentence, how they to find their file. So it helps us to don't develop the search capability for this application for those applications. And this is why I'll talk about SharePoint Embedded. So what is it, SharePoint Embedded? SharePoint Embedded is announced by Microsoft in November 2023. It was in public preview. And last year, in May 2024, in general availability. So SharePoint Embedded allow your application to create a dedicated partition inside your tenant. So you have your Microsoft 365 tenant, and you can create a container to store your file. And all these containers stay inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. And we are talking only about document-centric solution. So this SharePoint Embedded, when you say SharePoint Embedded, we talk about files. You don't have the table like SQL or structure like this. And to access to this container, we use Graph API. It's different than SharePoint. SharePoint, we have SharePoint site. We can access with the link to the SharePoint document library. Unlike SharePoint, your application needs to use Graph API to add or to delete or to manage this file or to manage container inside the container, inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. And all the containers are linked to one type. This type, it's container type. So we have a container type. And for each container type, we can create multiple containers. And all the content stay inside your Microsoft 365 unit. That means for each file stored in SharePoint Embedded container, we have the same feature like SharePoint document library. That means you will have the versioning for each file. We have the security. We have sensitive label for each file. You will have also this when your company use sensitive label, you will have also the sensitive label for those files stored in SharePoint Embedded container. And you can work, for example, we have the feature, the collaboration feature. Many users can work at the same time on the files. The same thing when you work on the Office document, and this document stored in SharePoint site or in OneDrive. And we can share this file with the user, with your company or external user if your company allow this. And all the container and the content for SharePoint Embedded, it's calculated in different way. So in the first slide, I show you for each tenant, we have free storage, but for the content for SharePoint Embedded, you will pay as you go for this content. Not like SharePoint site, when you store file, it will use your free storage. When you exceed the storage, you will pay. And I'll show you for application, you will pay as you go for the content, but for Microsoft application consume your free storage. I will explain in the next slide what are the Microsoft application. And here, for example, when you check your SharePoint Admin Center on the left, you will have a link to container. And the container is SharePoint Embedded container. If you are SharePoint admin, you will notice that you have, since the last year, we have something new on the left, we have container. And when you check on this container, you will find here all your container, and also a container for your company, and also for the Microsoft application. There are many SharePoint Microsoft application. This application use SharePoint Embedded to store the content inside your tenant. Do you know, for example, Copilot pages? For example, when you search on Copilot, you have on the left, on the bottom of your page, editing page. When you click in editing page, what happened behind the scene? The application Copilot pages developed by Microsoft will create a page in a container inside your tenant. So this Copilot page application from Microsoft consume your storage, your free storage of Microsoft 365 tenants. And for your application, for example, here when you check, I have the icon, I have the publisher here. When you have Microsoft Publisher, the content for all this application use your storage. And also you can apply sensitive label for each container. Here I'm in SharePoint Admin Center. I select on the left active container. And here, as you can see, for each container, you can apply also sensitive label. So the container, it's behave like a file. You can apply also sensitive label on the container and also on the file for each file. And here, when I click, here I took a screenshot from my demo 2 weeks ago from in Boston. So here, when I check the property for each container, as you can see, we have the container name. The sensitive label here I don't have, and the storage. And also you have the container URL, as you can see here. And this container URL, we'll use it as knowledge for Copilot agents. So I will show you on demo how it's work. And also we can add permission also for each container from SharePoint admin page. And now I will talk about how everything is situated in different in Microsoft 365 zones. As you know, our infrastructure, it's Microsoft Cloud. So we have the Microsoft Cloud on the bottom, and on the top, middle layer, we have the Power Platform as a service. And this platform as a service, we have the Microsoft 365 security by default by Microsoft, and your custom Microsoft 365 security from your company. And on the top, we have SharePoint embedded container. And on the same level, we have SharePoint documents library and OneDrive. That means when you have a file stored in SharePoint embedded container, all the Microsoft 365 security from Microsoft or your custom security from your organization are available for this content. So that's why it's same thing like SharePoint document library. Nothing changed. We are not storing file outside your Microsoft 365 zones. And on the top layer, we have the experience. We have your custom application. On the left, custom application, your application you develop from your developed by your company, and also the application you purchase it from other company like ISV. Why split it on two parts? Because for this application, you will pay for the content as you go. And on the right, we have the Microsoft 365 application. We have Loop and Designer and Edge Workspace. I will show you what Edge Workspace. And why split it on two parts? Because on the right, for Microsoft 365 application, this application consumes your free storage. So when you use Copilot pages, Copilot page create pages in Loop workspace in SharePoint embedded container, and it consumes your free storage from the Microsoft 365 tenant. And what is Edge Workspace? Edge Workspace, when you check your Edge in browser, on the left, you have icon here, Workspace. Workspace, when you log with your corporate user email with the license under Microsoft 365 tenant, you will have the possibility to create workspace. It's like a collection of tapes, and you can share this workspace with other users with your company. And it's behind the scene how it's work. It's the workspace is stored inside SharePoint embedded container inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. Here I took an example. I have 4 workspace. It's for me, for example, to learn. I have 7 websites. So I said when I will share, I will save it in a workspace. And it's very powerful. For example, when you work inside with a company and you work on many projects, we can create workspace for each project, and you can share all the link for this project with the user of your the user who work on this project, on those projects. And here I'll show you how the Microsoft 365 partition work. Before you know about SharePoint embedded, to store a file, you have 2 options. You create SharePoint site and you store the file in SharePoint document library, or you store those file in OneDrive. And now you have the possibility to store this file or to manage this file in SharePoint embedded content. So before SharePoint embedded, for example, to work with Office documents, we can use the browser. So you can open one file from SharePoint document library online or in OneDrive, and you can use Microsoft Office app. And for SharePoint embedded, it's different because we need to use Graph API. and you have your application. This application query your content with Microsoft Graph API. And also the same thing when you have the Copilot agents. Copilot agents will use your Microsoft Graph API to query the file inside SharePoint embedded container associated to your application. And what is SharePoint embedded container? So SharePoint embedded container, it's a partition, as I said, partition inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. It's like when you, for example, you have SharePoint document library, but SharePoint document library is attached to one site, SharePoint site, but container for SharePoint embedded is created inside your tenant. And I took a sample for a container ID. The container ID, it's look like this ID. And for each application, you can create multiple containers. So for SharePoint embedded, you need to create your Azure application. It's associated to one container type, and we can create multiple containers for it. And for each application, it's allowed to create 100,000 containers. 100,000 containers per tenant. That means, for example, you use, for example, Copilot pages. The application is developed by Microsoft. I took an example, so you can use another application. For this application developed by another company like Microsoft, and for each customer for this application, it creates maximum 100,000 containers. But if you want to increase this number, you can contact Microsoft. They do it also, and all the containers are linked to the container type. You cannot find a container inside your tenant not attached to one container type. And all the access to this container, unlike SharePoint, we don't have UI for it, so we need to use Graph API by your application to manage all this file. This is why the access is restricted only to the Graph API. And it's fully integrated with Microsoft 365 Experience. That means you have the same feature like when you work with the file in SharePoint site or OneDrive. And it's very important for each file inside each container will have an ID like this. So it's useful for people they develop with Power Apps. So, for example, in SharePoint, when you add the file, you have the title, the description, and you can add many properties. And also here in SharePoint embedded container, you will have an ID like this. And for each file, as I said, for each file container, it's linked only to one container type. And for each container, we can store maximum 25 terabytes. Imagine you can create for each application 100,000 container, and for each container can create 25 terabytes. When you compare this number 25 terabytes, it's the collection, the 25, it's maximum storage for one collection site, so one SharePoint collection site. And the same, so each container, we can store 25 terabytes. And as I said, you will pay as you go for the content. And here, I'll show you, you have the container URL. It's like this. We have your tenants.sharepoint.com, and we have the word content storage. So, and after we have CSP, and we have an ID. So it's very important. We'll use this container link in Copilot Studio. So to find this link, you can access to this link, and you can find it in SharePoint Admin Center. You can use PowerShell. You can use the Visual Code extension. I will show you how to use Visual Code extension or Postman. And keep in mind, you will use the key to use SharePoint Embedded. You need to use the link like this. When you have content storage, it's SharePoint Embedded, and you will use this as knowledge for our Copilot agents. And the cost of SharePoint Embedded, we have two options. To SharePoint Embedded, we have the trial version for each tenant. You don't need to activate anything. You can create for free one container type, and we can create for this container type more than 5 containers, and it's limited to 1 gigabyte per container, and it's valid only 30 days. If it's expired, you can delete it and create other. And Microsoft wants for each company use test SharePoint embedded for free, and you have the payable version with the standard version. It's you pay for with your Azure subscription, and here the cost you will pay for SharePoint embedded content per gigabyte per day, and you will pay also for the Graph API transaction. So it's now the question will say to me, it's very expensive when you will stay in SharePoint. So here the question, it depends. For example, when you develop one project, we need to store file in SharePoint embedded, and the user use this access to this file, for example, two times per week. So in this time, this case, why apply license? Why you are paying license every month for this user to access this file? Because I have a real example use case with one customer. We develop application, and for this application, we create project to maintain nuclear plant for 40 years. So we need to access this file only one time per week. So when you calculate the cost for 5 years, 1 year, when you add license, we'll pay every month, but the user, they will not use it as you pay. So it's better for you to use pay as you go. And also when you have access, when you want to access many times to this file, it's better to stay in SharePoint site. And here, when you check the price for 1 month for the storage, it's 20 cents. It's the same amount. For example, when you want to compare, in the first slide I said for each tenant, when you exceed the free storage, we'll pay 20 cents. And here the same. So here you pay as you go, but each month it costs 20 cents. And you will pay also for the Graph API call. The Graph API call, the call from your application. So you will not pay for Microsoft when you use Copilot, for example, to search your file, for example. You will not pay for the Microsoft call. So you'll pay call from your application. You will pay. It's not expensive when you check this price. So now, what is a AI agent? Now I'll talk about AI. So what is Copilot and what is AI engine? Copilot, it's the UI for UI. Like, for example, you use Copilot. Copilot is just the UI, and behind the scene we have the model and everything. And the agent, it's like automated process that help for many business challenge. So we have Copilot, we have agent, and we have many type of agents. We have the prompt and response agents like chatbot, and we have the task agents that analyze data, and we have also autonomous agents. We have 3 type of agents. On this demo, I will show you how to create Copilot Studio agent. It's the first type, prompt and response agent. So we'll create an agent like chatbot to find. So it's simple for a user to ask in simple natural language to find his file or to ask about his data and everything. And here the screenshot from my Copilot agents from Copilot Studio. When you access to your Copilot Studio, you have on the left navigation, you have the agent. So here, as you see, I have the agent. Here I have an agent, the name healthcare record. And for this agent, I will add knowledge. So for agents, we need data, and this data, we can search this data with the model from online, or we can add your specific knowledge. We can add specific, for example, SharePoint document library or OneDrive or SharePoint embedded content. And for this agent, we'll add knowledge. We'll add the knowledge. And Copilot Studio. So here, okay. I talked about the agent and now Copilot Studio in detail. So Copilot Studio is a tool to create or to manage your agent in low code. So you don't need to develop it's like Power Apps. So we have Copilot Studio, so you can configure your agent, and you can also export it, import the agent. You can publish your agent, and now we have the environment. We have like Power Platform. You have for each environment you can create agent, and Copilot Studio. It's like this, and you have the agent on the left, and we have three types of Copilot Studio license. So we have the pay as you go. Pay as you go, you will pay 1 cent per message. Per message, that means when for each user ask for something, you will pay per message. Or we have package like $200 per tenant per month. It's limited to 25,000 message. Or if your user or you have your organization, you have a Microsoft Copilot Studio, you already pay 30 $30 per user per month, so you will have it for free because you will already paying every month. So you have three options. So when you develop your agent or configure your agent, up to you to check the license you want to use. If you have the Copilot Studio, or if you have the license Microsoft 365, so you'll use it for free. And to work with SharePoint embedded, so I will share with you how you can work with SharePoint embedded. So you have Visual Code, and Visual Code you can download, add the SharePoint embedded extension. You can check on the store SharePoint embedded on the Visual Code. You will add this extension to Visual Code. Once installed, you can create here for the first option. You want to create the trial container type. We can create a SharePoint embedded application and SharePoint embedded container type, and you can once create. Here we don't need to do anything. We don't need to develop. You have the extension. You say create your trial container type. What happened behind the scene? The extension will create the Azure application, and it will create the container type. The extension also associates the container type with the application, and it will create, and you can, once create, it will create also the certificate. And once created, we can export this environment to Postman. Postman is the tool where you can simulate simulate all the query with SharePoint embedded or other tools. And here, once created, you can export all the environment file in one click to your Postman. And if you want to work with SharePoint embedded, you will find with this link. I will share you after this session. I will share with you this slide so you can use it. So we can use it, and you can with this Postman and with this link, we will find all the SharePoint embedded possible query. You can use it in your project. I will show you a demo Postman with this query, and here we'll find, for example, on the left you have list container, create container, and once you create with Visual Code extension the SharePoint embedded, you export the file, and here in Postman you can import the environment file. And in the environment file, we have, I'll show you on demo, we have the container type ID, the tenant ID, and all the files. So once imported here, we can use it directly. So, and in PowerShell, to create a container type, we have two options. We have the trial container type. You specify an attribute, it's a trial container, the container type name, and the application ID. Or if you want to create a standard container, a SharePoint container type, you need to specify the container type name, the application ID, your Azure subscription, and your resource group and the region. So, and here I will show you a demo. If you have any question, you are free to ask. Here in demo, I will show you the Visual Code extension. Here I have my Visual Code. On the left, I have SharePoint embedded extension. So So here I'm connected with my user, and here it's you can see trial expired, but it's not expired. It's not refreshed. And here I have a container type SPE Boston, because 2 weeks ago I delivered a session in USA, and if container type, and here if I check my container, it will show me the container associated, and here I have the container associated to this container type. So you have, if you have many applications to other application, you will connect. You here on the container type, you will find many container type. For each container type, you have the container. So here for this SPE Boston, I have 4 container type. If I check on SharePoint, my SharePoint admin center, I will bring this screen here and share my SharePoint admin center. And here on the left on my SharePoint admin center, as you can see on the left, I have a section for container. So here, if I check on active container, so I will see all my container, and from my container I have this 4 container SPE Boston 1, 2, and the publisher, it's not Microsoft, it's mark other, it's a custom. And for example, if I check this container EI Boston 3, as you can see, I have the link to it. So this link here, I have file here. I add file for this container. So I will use this link in Copilot Studio to build our agents. And also I will show you the Edge workspace. I talk about Edge workspace. As you can see on the left here, the navigation, I have workspace here. And I click on the workspace. As you can see, I have many workspace. You can create new workspace. And here, for example, I want to share this workspace. I edit workspace, for example. Here, I click on workspace. I have all the link. I save it to my workspace, as you can see. And also, I can share it with other user from the company, from the organization. And I will show you also Postman, because I talk about Postman. Here in Postman, before to talk about Postman, I will talk about the Visual Code. Here, once I create my container here, as you can see, to set up Postman collection, you can export all the ID for all the attributes you needed for your for this application, and you can use it imported to Postman. So what I did, I just set export to environment setting, and here in Postman, I use many environment. I have on the left environment, but I will use this environment when I check to this file, to this environment. So I have the container type ID, the client ID, it's the application ID, my tenant ID, the tenant name, and I have the secret and the certificate, and the container here, the container ID, just for one container. And here, this collection, I import this collection for all the Graph API call, possible call with aka.ms sp. This link you have on the slide, so all the collection for Graph API. And here in Postman, I will show you, for example, here I want to check in my tenant what are the container. So I have list container here, as you can see here on Graph. So I will query my tenant with Graph API. I will say in my query, I have the attribute container type ID. So I will ask, so I will send this query. It's like when you use your application. And here, the result, I have 4 results because I have the SPE Boston 1, 2, 3, and I have the 4th one. So So I have 4 containers associated to this container type. And as you can see, we have for each container the ID. The ID, it's like this. And also, for example, if you want to work with files, so here, for example, I will search here the query. I don't know the query, but I need to search. I search it here, and I will find what is here upload file. Yeah, for example, if I want to upload a file to a container, so I will here, for example, I will specify here. I will name my file, say Doctor Meeting. I delivered a session in Boston for Healthcare Institute. So I have this example. So and the file it's and here I have the file. So I will send, and here in this query I will say for this container, upload me this file, and the result will have the ID for the file here, and also the link for this file. So as you can see, you have content storage. And now I will show you on Copilot Studio, how to Copilot Studio, how to create an agent. So here I have my agents. Here I am in Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio you can access. Here I have a preview. You can access copilotstudio.microsoft.com. And here you can specify also your environment. It's like Power Platform. So here I will use create here by default. And here I will create a new agent. And also I'll just open SharePoint site. Okay, here we have 2 options. So you can ask Copilot to create your agent, or you can skip to configure. You can configure manually. So I will skip it. And here I will name my agent like SPE number 5, and you can check. You can use an icon for your agent, and for the description also you can add description, instruction, and it's very important here the knowledge. So we will create an agent, and you can associate a specific content to search for the content. So for example, if you want only for one SharePoint document library, we can create only one agent for this SharePoint document library. We can add also 2 or more. So, and here for this agent, we have many options. You can add the knowledge like public website, also SharePoint, Dataverse, and everything. And here I will use SharePoint. So SharePoint here. So I will check if my site. I'll check here for active site. I'll search for one SharePoint site. 1 second. Okay. Here FSB. Okay, I have this SharePoint website. Here I have one SharePoint site. I create inside this SharePoint site a SharePoint document library icon Boston. And this document library, I have many files. So I'll use this file to ask Copilot about it. So I will use this link and I will add it as a knowledge here. Once added, so here I add create an agent, and I use one knowledge. And also we can use the SharePoint embedded container here in SharePoint. Here to add SharePoint embedded container also we need to specify. We don't have SharePoint embedded icon. We have only SharePoint. And here I will go to my SharePoint admin center, and to find the link, you can here in active container. So I will use this link. and active container. I'll just link, and here I will add this link. Here there is a bug in Copilot Studio. Here sometimes works, sometimes no. And here if I add this, I hope they have no. I have an error. Usually it's work. So I will show you. For this one, I will not add this container. So this I'll check. I'm checking with Microsoft why it's happened. Sometimes it happens. You have this error, but I'll show you an agent. So I have already this content. So here I'll show you. I already have an agent. This one. This agent. I already have this content source. This knowledge. As you can see here on the knowledge, I have my. If I edit this. So here I have my. I'll check it. But here, I'll take my link. As you can see in the link here, when you compare, you have content storage. I have my container. So here I switch to another agent. I already built it. And here to test your agent, you have the option to test it here directly. So here, for example, I will ask the agent find me all the file start, for example, with Boston. And here, I'm just waiting. So here, as you can see in my Copilot agents, so I ask him to search only for the content in two knowledge, one SharePoint document library and one SharePoint embedded container. Here, Icon Boston double A, it's SharePoint document library, and CSP, it's our agents, our SharePoint embedded container. And here, the agent find two files, this two Word document file, and here for the source, the first file, when you check on the left on the button, we have the content storage. So this file, it's in the SharePoint embedded storage, and this file also the same. So, and if you want to test your agent in Teams, you need just to here in channel. You have the tab here, channel. You can specify Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot. And here, the agent in Teams. Here I will use it. As you can see here, I'm using this agent in Teams. So here I will ask him also find me all the file start with. So we can ask. So this way it's very simple to use an agent to search for the file. Then you develop your search application, and all the time the user are complaining very difficult to find. So you have your agent. You can associate this agent to many data source like its knowledge. And as you can see, so when I ask the agent, and he finds the file. So you can ask as many questions you want with this agent. And if you have any question, I'll just return to my demo, to my slides. So in the demo, so I show you how in demo and how it's work, and also I took here a screenshot. You can check it also in this slide. So what I did, I create an agent here, and I skip the call to configure. And here we have two options. You can ask Copilot, and once created, we can add the knowledge, and knowledge you can specify here in this demo. There is a bug with Microsoft. They will check it once it's happened one times, but I don't know how it's happened. So for one agent it's work, for second no, but it's work like this. When you want to add SharePoint embedded container, you will use this link with content storage. And once added, your agent will use this knowledge to find the file. And once done, you can publish it. And that's all. And for the conclusion, so it's like Microsoft develop application with SharePoint embedded. We can develop also your agent, your application with SharePoint embedded, and all the content. If you want to search something, storage solution, stay with your Microsoft 365 tenant. You can use SharePoint embedded as isolated data or SharePoint document library. And the agent are powerful tool for your business needs. So for my main customer, the real use case for agent, it's for customer, they want to ask natural language to the AI to find or to search their file or to manage everything. So, and here I share with you the first link. You can find all the Graph API call for SharePoint embedded. And if you want to start to use it, and also everything, you'll find everything on Microsoft Learn, and also how to start with Copilot agents. And thank you for attending this session. If you have any question, I'm free to answer. And you have my LinkedIn, you can connect with me. If you have any question, I'm free to answer. So.
Well, thank you very much, Jamila,
Thank you.
for this representation of building Copilot agents for SharePoint and SharePoint embedded containers with Copilot. It was pretty interesting after all.
Yes, it's. I think there are only 4 or 5 speakers worldwide. They are talking about it, and you can. I have the chance to talk about it, about SharePoint embedded and how to associate with SharePoint Copilot agents. So, and for the bug, I have it. It's known by Microsoft, so I will share on my LinkedIn how to resolve it. So I will do it. So okay, but it's happened even on Microsoft tenant and everything. So thank you for. You don't have any questions for this session? Okay. I will share. It's a recorded session, yes. So yeah. It is recorded.
Thank you.
Session. Okay, thank you.
It is recorded.
Okay, I'll share you on this channel the team the slide. Okay, thank you for all that.
You're free to do it without problem.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much, and thank you everyone for coming at Microsoft 20 Days Aguascalientes 2025.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah, as I was saying, muchas gracias por continuar lo que es el Microsoft 20 Days Aguascalientes 2025. Agradecemos a nuestros patrocinadores, sobre todo por la cuestión de que nada de esto hubiera sido posible sin su apoyo. Sobre todo, amigos, muchas gracias a lo que sea por los compañeros y también lo que sea los ponentes, que han tocado que sea temas bastante interesantes, la verdad. Como también digo, Soma, lo que se han hecho, pueden checar lo que es un recordatorio de lo que son las direcciones con las cuales se pueden comunicar con nosotros. La de Mónica Velázquez, MC Cloud Events, y la de Melanie Moreno, igual MC Cloud Events. Donde estaremos a sus órdenes para responder cualquier duda, sobre todo sobre los temas que hemos visto lo que ha sido el día de hoy. Muchísimas gracias y que pasen una estupenda tarde.